Dear students, welcome to session 10 of Unit 5. In this session, we are going to study about the limitations of performance appraisal. Limitations of performance appraisal. It is a broader area, so again, it is split into two sessions for our convenience purposes. In this session, we are going to cover the limitations of performance appraisal partly, and in the next session we will conclude the same topic. Okay, now there are limitations of performance appraisal, or there are some demerits of performance appraisal. Normally it happens, or errors in performance appraisal. Under that, first one, halo effect. This is a tendency to let the assessment of a single positive trait influence the evaluation of individual on other traits too. For example, an employee demonstrates a high degree of dependability, and from this behavior, a comparable high degree of integrity, dependability, and it results in high degree of integrity, or high degree of integrity is inferred. If he is more dependable means we are telling that, or we are presuming that he is highly highly a person of integrity. So this is called halo effect. Next is Horn's effect. This is a tendency to allow one negative trait of the employee to color the entire appraisal. This is results in an overall lower rating than may be warranted. That means we will consider one particular negative aspects, and we will evaluate or appraise that the candidate or employee in a negative manner than actually he is. By taking negative into consideration, we are appraising him at a lower rate. And in the halo effect, we are taking one plus point and we are rating on that basis. First, we say halo effect. Next one, we say horn effect. Horn effect. Okay. Besides this, right, what happens is both halo effect and horn effect has some such problems. Halo effect is defined as the influence of rater's general impression. Halo effect normally halo effect is defined as the influence of rater's general impression. First impression is best impression, like that, impression on rating of specific rate qualities. The rater may base a full appraisal on the basis of one positive quality which was found out earlier. So, if the superior has found one good quality in his subordinate, and on the basis of that he appraises all other qualities. So this is called halo effect. In horn effect, what you are doing, you are taking one, or subordinate identified one negative effect or act of that employee, quality of employee, and on the basis of that he rates all other criteria or traits. Okay, that's called horn effects. So horn effects starts with the negative. Halo effect starts with the positive criteria or trait of an employee. Right. Next, both are not correct. Next one is problem of leniency or strictness. Many raters are too lenient or not strict in their rating. High scores may be given to all employees even if they have no merit. Liberally giving marks to the student, like that, not bifurcating the actual learner and simply A candidate simply coming to the college and wandering here and there and not learning anything. And but we are giving same rank or mark to him. That's not correct. Also, a reverse situation may take place where all employees are rated strictly and very low scores are given to everyone. So, this is another problem in performance appraisal. In case of someone who are very liberal, they will give a liberal mark or liberal points or liberal rates to every employee, right? But on the other hand, another extreme is that he is so strict and he won't give any higher rate to any number or any employee in the organization. So this is another case where we are finding limitation in the performance appraisal, and we have to take care about halo effect, horn effect, and problem of leniency or strictness. Too strictness is not good, and no strictness is not also good, right? If you have full strictness, right, full control is always loss of control, and quality will be discarded because of that highly liberalized policy towards employees. Next, point three, central tendency. Sometimes rater gives only middle range scores to all individuals. Extremely high or low scores are avoided. This is called central tendency problem. So average marks given to everyone. So average rates are given to every employee in the organization so that the rater is very safe. Neither two extremes are followed, right? So that somehow he is thinking that this is good, but in practice it is not the right way of doing. Fourth one, personal bias. Performance appraisal is affected by personal bias of the rater. If the rater has good relations with the ratee or an employee who is going to be evaluated, he may give higher score to the employees, though they are not deserve for such high scores. This is called personal bias. Okay. ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಅವನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಿದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ರೇಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಒಳ್ಳೇದಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ರೇಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕ ಪ್ರಿಜುಡಿಸ್ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Next, paperwork. Some supervisors complain that performance appraisal pointless paperwork. They complain because many times performance appraisal reports are found only in the files. It does not serve any practical purposes. So sometimes the performance evaluation is done without taking any corrective steps or corrective measures to improve the performance of that employee. Therefore, some of the managers argue that it is just paperwork without any practical benefit out of it. Okay, so with this, I conclude this part now, and I will continue the topic in the next session. Thank you.